Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's final recorded live about the seventh limb of yoga. The eighth limb will be discussed together, actually live. Now, this seventh limb is called Dhyana, and it's about focusing on a specific thing, on a specific thought, on a specific intention, just like the previous limb, but the seventh limb takes it one level higher. As the description of this limb puts it, it's about having one continuous flow of intention, of attention towards that object of thought. One continuous flow without judgment and with more perspective. Now, I think perspective is also very much applicable to real life. And I think having this distance with whatever we're thinking about, whatever problem we're solving, is of paramount importance. The main cause for arguments on a day-to-day basis is the lack of perspective from both parties. If you have an argument with someone in the street and you take a few breaths and have the ability to see the whole matter in a 360, as one of my students likes to put it, not even 360 degrees, but 370 degrees, that one extra bit of perspective, then you'll be able to realize that most likely you don't need to argue and waste your time about this problem. Also, what could happen is that you realize the other person also might have the right to be angry. But most of the time, I think it's about breathing, going away from the matter, having this perspective, and telling you that it's not really necessary to argue about that. This is just one of many real-life examples of what this seventh branch can help you do. Now that we know this, I want us to not even manifest it physically as we did in the previous lives. I just want to close your eyes. I just want you to close your eyes and take a few breaths here. Lengthening your spine. Now, yesterday I taught a live. Now, yesterday, while I'm here in Batumi, so I'm still not teaching lives, of course, but yesterday I had a live, and one of my students, Bill, he said, the backrest, there's a Chinese saying that goes, the backrest is only good to put your coat on and not your back. But today we'll actually use the backrest because we really want full relaxation. So I'd like you to get your back against the backrest and take a few breaths here, closing the eyes. And really, I want you to picture the visualization I'm going to guide you through. And once we're inside, well, I'll tell you what to do. Just follow my cues. First of all, I'd like you to relax your body from head to toe, fully letting go here. Remembering about the breath. Remember about the mantra I mentioned. This posture and breath, those two things are extremely important. And I think those two things are extremely important, not only for you and your body physically, but also for that perspective. Because if you are in a place or a fight or an argument, when you need that perspective, the breath and, believe it or not, the posture will help you get that perspective. Slow down your breath here. Let's begin the visualization. I'd like you to focus your attention on your sensations here, to make this visualization as real as you can. First of all, with the eyes closed, I'd like you to imagine yourself on a beach of warm sand, very thin sand. Not too warm, just warm enough to keep your feet comfortable. You're gently walking on the beach. The sand is not too deep, and it's a little bit firm, so when you walk excuse me, when you walk on the sand, you don't have to struggle. It's a little bit even wet from the waves coming and going. I want you to imagine yourself in whichever clothes you'd like. I'd like you to feel this gentle breeze against your skin, this gentle, warm breeze against your skin. As you inhale and exhale, I'd like you to feel this slightly salty air entering and leaving your lungs. I want you to hear the sounds around you. Those could be anything, but I suggest the sound of seagulls from time to time. Maybe other sounds. I want you to look around you in this visualization. You'll see the sea, of course, on one side, the forest or the jungle or the city, the beachfront, whatever you'd like to see on the other side, whatever makes you feel comfortable in this visualization. It could also be a very, very big beach, so big that you can't even see what's beyond this sandy beach. You could be on an island, you choose. It could be the sunrise, it could be the sunset. It could be the middle of the day or the middle of the night. Why not? Today I will opt for the middle of the night for this visualization. Seeing the stars, listening to the dark sea gently coming and going, looking at the moon. And in this visualization, I'm going to sit down onto the sand. And why not? I'm going to lay down into the sand. I'm going to fully release once I'm down. I want you to really feel all the sensations of relaxation that are generated by this visualization. From here, whenever you're ready, we're going to be putting to application this seventh branch, Dhyana. I want you to focus on this visualization, but to take a step back, to go outside of your body in this visualization as a spectator, just feeling the good, relaxing sensations, but without paying too much attention to them, simply being a spectator, as I was saying. Maybe in this visualization, you can imagine that you don't have a body at all anymore, that you're just a consciousness wandering inside of this visualization. And I want you to pick something to focus on. It can be the sea, the sound of the waves, the night sky, the sand. Pick something and stick to it until the end of this meditation. I'm going to pick, of course, the night sky. If it's not night in your visualization, maybe you can pick the colors of the sky as the sun sets or the sun rises. And if it's the middle of the day, maybe you can focus on some gentle clouds floating past. You choose, but focus on one thing and one thing only. You're doing great. I believe that perspective makes us wise, makes us more just. I believe it's an extremely important skill that not a lot of people have. It's really expanding your mind and not allowing your preconceived views and opinions shield your mind from any external opinions and views. it doesn't mean that your views or opinions will change. It doesn't mean that, it doesn't mean anything like that. It means that at least you will take in those other perspectives. At least you will be aware of them and you will understand them, and you will, by that action of having this perspective, lower any type of animosity that might come from having a very narrow mind. You know, there's an expression, narrow-minded. Well, we want to be wide-minded. So yes. Speaking of which, in our visualization, I want you to change your perspective on what you're looking at. Whatever you chose, sand, sky, clouds, waves, whatever you're looking at, whatever you're observing here, change your perspective. However you're doing it, doesn't really matter. For example, if I'm looking at the night sky and I want to change my perspective, well, I'm going to be in the night sky looking down at Earth, or at me, or at this island, or at the beach from the other side. One of the most interesting things I think about inversions in yoga and physical yoga is that you can see the world upside down, change your perspective. If you're looking at clouds, then why not be flying among them? If you're looking at if you're really observing the sand itself, then why not feel the sand, really touch the sand with your visualization and feel how it is. If you are looking at the sea, maybe you can swim in that sea, feel how the water is. Change your perspective. Slowly, I'd like you to come back to yourself in the visualization. Peeling back the layers, you can gently stop the visualization and come back to your physical body. Being aware, more aware of your own physical sensations in this realm. Then slowly, I'd like you to wiggle your fingers and your toes, your neck from side to side. And then from there, I'd like you to gently open your eyes. Very good. Bring your hands to heart center. Namaste, everybody. Great job. Great job. So, as I said, today is the 7th limb. The next live will be actually live with me for the 8th limb, Samadhi. I'm looking forward to telling you about the expedition in person, how it went, and to seeing you finally. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And just one last thing about this perspective thing. Excuse me. So yes, about this perspective thing. I'm sure that you've had this experience before where you have a conflict or an argument with someone, or not even an argument, just a discussion with someone, and 2 months later maybe 1 year later, 2 years later, you're like, oh, I understand why this person was thinking that way. Well, this perspective will help you shorten that amount of time and open your mind quicker. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Namaste. Have a great day ahead. And I'll see you soon for the real live session. All right. Namaste.